A pleasure to be here today, and I want to thank you for your leadership on this issue. I also want to thank former Director Dailey for his contribution to agriculture and all he's done for the state of Ohio over the last 25 years. We all realize the challenges that Ohio's farmers face, and I think that this year those challenges are got a little exclamation point on them. 88 of our counties are considered in drought conditions, and that comes on the heels of what is probably one of the wettest years that we've ever had. So this year brings about, for Ohio farmers, a little bit more difficult time, a little bit more difficult environment. And as we have had an opportunity to look at the drought report over the last few weeks, 36% of Ohio's corn crop and bean crop are listed in poor or very poor condition. Our soils are dry or extremely dry, which indicates that economic loss to area farmers is already beginning. Given the challenges that we face, Governor, this year more than any year, these meaningful tax reforms might mean the difference between profit and loss for all small farmers and farmers throughout Ohio. So that's why I support the plan. I look forward to its adoption. I look forward to your continued leadership on this issue and Director Dailey's support.
Well, Fred, podium is yours.
Thanks, Governor. It's good to be back in the State House again. I have some really good memories from this room and the cabinet room, and a few that aren't so good. My only regret is I don't have as good a parking place now as I had a few years ago. I'm working on another master's in economics and finance, and everything that I'm learning about economics relates to what Governor Kasich just said. We want to make Ohio a better place to live and work and raise a family and increase the competitive advantages that we have in this state. And we do have taxes that are very high. And I want to acknowledge what Governor Kasich has been able to do in the first 2 years that he's been governor, because it's something short of being miraculous. To face an $8 billion hole in the budget, 87 cents in the rainy day fund, to increase the deductions for the income tax, and to do away with the estate tax or inheritance tax, which Ohio farmers hate. And I think Governor Kasich is doing absolutely the right thing. Now, I'm a conservative. I'm a fiscal conservative. I think state government's too big. I think it spends too much, and I think it taxes too often. And the federal government's even worse, because they can do deficit spending. I like this proposal. And I wouldn't be here today if this proposal increased the severance tax and was used to grow government. The proposal is used to decrease a very burdensome tax that we have, and that's the income tax. If you look at the tax structure in Ohio, we have high income tax, we have very low severance tax. In fact, if my arm was longer, I would show you just how low the severance tax is. We're down to the floor. And the industry is changing. It's changing rapidly. As many of you know, we have an oil and gas boom going on in Ohio. And it's going to be great for the state of Ohio. There's going to be tens of thousands of jobs that will be created in the state. We're going to recapitalize agriculture in many parts of Ohio. The jobs aren't just going to be roustabouts and oil drillers. They're going to be people that are making the casings, the steel companies, finance, legal. I come from Knox County. We have 2 companies there that make compressors. One of them has a billboard out on 71 right now trying to hire more people because of the boom that's going on. If I was to describe the proposal that Governor Kasich has here, I would use one word, one adjective would be fair. When you look at it, it's very fair. It's fair to the industry. It's fair to everybody in Ohio that pays taxes is going to benefit from this proposal. Farmers are going to benefit from it, not just the farmers in eastern Ohio, but farmers all over the state of Ohio are going to benefit from it. And the proposals are reasonable. And they're phased in over a period of time. They're allowed to, for the first year or 2, allow those people to capitalize those costs and be at a lower rate. And the severance tax in Ohio begs to be modernized. We've been drilling oil and gas wells in Ohio for well over 100 years, or some on my farm that would go back that far. But everything has changed with new technology, with the horizontal drilling, more so than the fracking, because we've been doing the fracking for many, many years. But it's changing everything, and it's going to be good for Ohio. But when you look at this proposal, way, way down here, 20 cents for a barrel of oil, nothing for liquids that are very valuable, hydrocarbons that we can develop into advanced polymers. It needs to be changed. And the people that will be making those payments are mostly out-of-state oil companies coming to Ohio. And they're investors. And that money will be sent around for income tax reduction to other places. I want to say this about the oil and gas people. They're good people. I like them. It's a great industry. It reminds me of farming. It's a capital-intensive industry. They're risk takers. They have to deal with the vagaries of weather and the marketplace. They're entrepreneurs, and they're good people. And once this is passed, most of those out-of-state companies will still be paying less severance tax in Ohio than they will in their home states. So I think the whole proposal is very fair. I like it. I like what Governor Kasich has proposed here. I think it's good public policy, and I think it deserves thoughtful consideration, and I hope the legislature will take a hard look at this and give it their thoughtful consideration.